Hello and welcome. My name is Nicholas and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are returning to one of my earlier reviews and rereading it. This week's pick is The Outside Circle by Patty LeBoucan Benson and Kelly Mellings. This edition was published by House of Anansi Press on May 2nd, 2015. Not only a national bestseller, but this title was also awarded the Codes Burt Award for First Nation, Inuit, and Métis Literature. The author, Patty LeBoucan Benson, is a Métis woman and the Director of Research, Training, and Communication at Native Counseling Services of Alberta, NCSA. With a PhD in Human Ecology, LeBoucan Benson focused on Aboriginal family resilience, and as of the writing of this bio was researching how providing historic trauma healing opportunities for Aboriginal people builds resilience in Aboriginal families and communities. The artist, Kelly Mellings, is an award-winning art director, illustrator, and designer. His work has appeared in comic books, magazines, apps, museum exhibits, and online games, and his clients include Microsoft. He is the co-owner of the acclaimed illustration, animation, and design firm Pulp Studios, and he lives in Edmonton, Alberta. The official description of the book is as follows. In this important graphic novel, two Aboriginal brothers surrounded by poverty, drug abuse, and gang violence try to overcome centuries of historic trauma in very different ways to bring about positive changes in their lives. Pete, a young Aboriginal man wrapped up in gang violence, lives with his younger brother Joey and his mother, who is a heroin addict. One night, Pete and his mother's boyfriend Dennis get into a big fight, which sends Dennis to the morgue and Pete to jail. Initially, Pete keeps up ties to his crew until a jail brawl forces him to realize the negative influences he has become on Joey, which encourages him to begin a process of rehabilitation that includes traditional Aboriginal healing circles and ceremonies. Powerful, courageous, and deeply moving, The Outside Circle is drawn from the author's 20 years of work and research on healing and reconciliation of gang-affiliated or incarcerated Aboriginal men. As far as content warning go, there's really not really that much. Some people get beat up, but violence/action is not the point of the book, so it doesn't take up much space and is not gruesome. There's swears, but it's all jumbled. And most important to note, there is reference to lots of kinds of abuse, but it's just in dialogue and not actually shown. So prepare yourself or avoid as necessary. The biggest issue I had this time through is that I did feel like drugs were a bit too stigmatized. I mean, I get why it happened, and it does reflect the way things likely would have happened in real life, but I guess I feel a bit more nuance between reality and ideally could have been made, particularly when it came to the second infograph. While I can appreciate how these statistics can give context as far as the quote-unquote problem, it also felt in some ways it was equating all Indigenous poverty with the lifestyle of the characters. On the better side of things, this book is both a good pick to learn about the history of Canada's abusive relationship with Indigenous people of Turtle Island, and for alternatives to pure incarceration. Is it totally anti-incarceration? I don't know, but considering how much healing lodges seem to freak out the general Canadian public every time they are in the news, it's something. I'm not aware of official reading level policies, but personally I could see myself appreciating this book as early as at least 8th grade, if not a bit sooner. And of course, if you're interested in reading this or any other of the growing number of Indigenous comic books that have been published of late, I'll have a link below to my Goodreads list, or, you can just Google it. Bye all, keep reading, and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is recorded on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation. I live here because of British colonization, Indigenous genocide, and more geographically specific, Treaty 13, also known as the Toronto Purchase, which was finalized in 1805 between representatives of the Crown and certain Mississauga peoples. This treaty was a lie and has since been broken many times over. Saying so reflects only my own small steps towards knowing the truth and does nothing for reconciliation.